Hi there. Welcome, everyone. It's me, Paulina. Most likely, we have talked already somewhere, maybe in chats, maybe in emails, maybe even face to face in some personal conversation. So I'm just happy that you attended this yet another webinar, the third time we have it. And I think that after this one, we will collect some stats, some analytics, and we'll decide whether it's worth continuing this initiative, having monthly webinars, or it doesn't make a lot of sense. So, yeah, it's 2 p.m. or so. So I wonder whether you all have the same time zone. Probably not. And I'll briefly describe you what is waiting for you today. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through February monthly updates that we released. That was quite a lot, to be honest. When I was preparing, I was thinking like, oh my God, how to use all of this? But I hope that in the end, you will be able to find something that is helpful for you, or at least grab some ideas what can be helpful for you in the future. The webinar itself, I hope, will take briefly like 30 minutes, maybe even less. You will receive the recording, so you will be able to double check if something was missed or you'll have to go at some point. And of course, we have here a chat. We also have here button ask a question. So you will be able to ask any question that comes to your mind regarding the current features, the future unclear things, and I will be happy to address them after the main part. And I will also make some stops if there will be like context questions about the features that were released. So it's Wednesday, so I hope that you now have a nice excuse to pause your work and to listen to this kind of fiber podcast we have. So let me start sharing my screen. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. I think that now you have to see my wonderful and amazing Figma presentation that I was preparing with love and care. So what do we have on our webinar roadmap for today? We are going to talk about permission releases. What have we released already? What we are going to focus on next? Timeline. It had some love this month and will have some love in the March as well. Whiteboard, it's still in focus and will be so for the next couple of months as well. And we also had like other updates, some significant ones like required fields or left side changes, and some minor ones like desktop app that had some love, Asana migration, and Q&A as promised. So some stats, and of course memes, because you have to fun as well. It has to be fun as well. So in February, there were only like 4 Thursdays, and we had 4 releases. And during 4 releases, we released 35 features, including technical. Technical means that like maybe it wasn't a part of the public announcement, but it delivered some value. And we fixed 29 bugs. Not that much, but I hope that's enough. We also answered 446 new chats, not including those that are like continuous ones. We had almost 600 posts in community, and that's absolutely stunning. So thanks to everyone who is contributing to our community. And as a team, we had only one all hands call. So we don't have that many calls as a team, and I'm proud to say that we have at least one a month. Now let's talk about some improvements made. So first of all, one of our teams is focused on permissions delivery, as well as Anton, our product guy. So we're still improving our entity level permissions, and now we're finishing with the like core functionality that we wanted to have. And then we hope to focus more on the adoption part. This is why for us it is still important to know, to see some stats of the usage and to see chats and community posts, what is not clear. So it gives us better understanding where the problem is and how to improve that. So what have we done? Now it's possible to share entities with assigned groups. It's possible to share a database with a group or everyone, because everyone is a group, and see if access template is used for automatic sharing. Let's dive deeper into every of those examples. And there we are. So when we say that we now can share entity with assigned teams, one of the use cases I immediately thought of, and that was one of the most popular ones among our customers, is to share some big product thing with teams assigned. So for example, we have a structure like epic feature story, and I want teams focus on their work only. So I want them only able to be able to see the epics assigned to them. So let's say that I have two teams. They're called Web and iOS. And my teams, they have teammates. So there we are. Having teammates on the team level is important because permissions are applied to Fiber users. And this is why we have to identify, like if I assign a web team, which teammates, okay, which Fiber users will receive the access. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to open an epic. And on the epic level, I can assign a team. So assigning a team, it means that I have a relation between two databases, epic and team. And let me edit them. And when you assign a relation, now there are two hidden options, sharing and advanced. And if I click on sharing, now I have a new switcher here, automatically share epics with team. And here I can use some default templates for the permissions, or I can also use here access templates that probably you're aware of, and if not, definitely recommend you to check this out. So that means that teammates of the team assigned to the particular epic will have now access to it, and we can also, of course, for sure extend it, and they will get the access to everything related to this epic as well. It is also helpful, for example, if you're managing different projects and you have like different teams assigned to the projects and every team has to see their projects only. So before you had to assign people directly and share it to them, now you can assign a team and just saves you some time. Oh, sorry. Stop sharing. Okay. Okay. Oh my God, I think I didn't switch to this tab, correct? Yes, we can't see the tab. I'm so sorry. I will double check this. I will repeat it once again. So we have a team, and here we have this sharing switcher, which you can click on. Here you can apply different roles, templates, and extend the access. So you're doing this on the relation controller. It works also for many-to-many permissions as well. So that was it. Okay. The next thing will be add everyone as a submitter. So vacation use case, I think, is the most relevant one. At least it was the most popular one, at least. So we have vacations policies in February, and we track everything in February. And we decided that you can apply for the sick day, for vacation, for the day on, but once applied, you cannot change it anymore. So you need to have read-only access to the data, but you also have to be able to submit new items. So you have to have read-only access to what exists already and be able to create something. This is why now on the database level, you can click share, and instead of clicking everyone one by one, you can choose everyone. So everyone is a submitter. You can make it work both with everyone, because everyone is like our team definition, or you can like use teams that exist already. I think maybe we can also say that iOS team, we love them more. This is why they are creators here. This also may save some time, especially when you like have new teammates joining, and before you had to manually add them one by one. Now there is no need for that. Everyone group, share with everyone. It solves the case. Okay, I forgot to switch again. There we are. So I'll repeat. We have a sick day. We click share here, and now we have everyone as a submitter. Okay. The next one, see if access template is used for automatic sharing. So the problem was that we show an access template is not being used when it's used with automatic access. what do we mean by automatic access is exactly what we were talking about before. So we were sharing the epic with the teams assigned. By default, it's owner, but in fact, I could apply some access template pre-made before. And before, the usage was 0 because you haven't applied it like manually, but now you can see here that fields that provide automatic owner access to assign users and groups. And we see that this template of the owner is used somewhere for the automatic assignment. I think, where was it? Automatic sharing. Okay, so I would give you an example. Okay. Say we create a new field and we create a new people field and we call it, for example, teammates or something. Teammates 2, because we have teammates already. And I say that I can allow multiple people on the team level to be teammates. And now I'm taking on sharing. And there is option to automatically share teams with teammates too. So it means that by default, for example, no one has access to the team database. But if you are assigned to a team, then you can see details about that. And which kind of information can you see? You can apply either with our default templates, or you can have a custom one. And let's say you have a commenter access, and it means that access template on the team level was used. And now if we go to the access templates, for example, commenter, we see the usage one, that it is used for the field which is called teammates 2. So it just gives you a better understanding where the specific templates are applied, and like, are you okay with the fact that it is applied? Okay, I think this is it about the permissions. Our next improvements here, like in fact, all the improvements we made, it was not about the fact that we're adding very special new functionality and opening new use cases. They were more focused on polishing, and the fact that you don't have to click too many times, and keep in mind all those updates. So it's rather like about improvement for the managing access. Next, we want to say that we are going to get rid of the contributor role. So contributor role was the fact that the user has access to something he is assigned to. And in fact, it is already like 90% replaced with the new functionality we introduced with entity level permissions. So it becomes a bit redundant, and we want to get rid of it. Better access audit, so it was easier to understand what is shared, where it was shared, who has access, these kind of things. And databases outside spaces if we are lucky. So no promises that it will be in March, but there is always a hope that we will at least start it. I never make promises about permissions, to be honest. Not after it took 2 years instead of a couple of months. Okay. The next thing, by the way, if you have any questions about permissions, you may put them here, and I will answer just after the timeline while we all have some context. So yeah, questions you can put during the presentation, and just after I end with the default flow, I will address all of them. So on the timeline, there was it had a lot of attention and a lot of love, because we found out that a lot of our customers are still not happy with what we delivered before. And our target here is to turn timeline from usable into lovable. And what have we changed? It was dependency management that we added. We also improved performance. It just has to work a bit smoother. Weekends are handled better already, and we want to improve it more. And the ability to hide empty lanes, because somehow timeline was missing this thing. So let's go and see what we have here. Regarding the dependency management, so when we're working with dependencies, dates are shifted on the timeline automatically, but the limitation we have right now is that dependency is possible to configure only on the same database level. So feature depends on feature, story depends on story, bug depends on bug. There is no way to show that feature is blocked by bug, task, epic, and something else. Same level only. And if you already have some self-relations, you can convert them to be dependencies. Let's check out and see what we have here. So for example, here we have a feature database. And what I can do next, I can add a new field, and this field will be a relation. And when we talk about dependencies, we talk about self-dependencies. So I will connect features and features. And again, now there is advanced option, and you can turn on switcher, use relation as dependency. Okay, there we are. Yes, now we can see it. So this is it. It can be many to one, one to one, many to many. That's absolutely up to you. Now we are adding this field. Okay, and now we have two fields, blocked by and blocking. So you can drag and drop them and make it look like this, or since it can be blocking many other features, you can like leave them as you want. So let's say it's blocking battery life monitoring for devices, and it is blocked by set automatic shuttles. Okay, what am I going to do next? I'm going to create a timeline. Okay. So what do I want to see on the timeline? On the timeline, I want to see the feature. And there is a button, Enable Dependencies. And once I added it, I have those wonderful arrows. And if I change something, it warns me that it shifted the date of one dependent item. And the colors represent whether everything is okay or something is wrong. If I add some dependencies here, like this, it will represent it to me with some arrows. So yeah, I changed this line and it changed the dates for those features automatically as well. As for the weekends, let's maybe zoom in a bit more. Now they are more visible, and weekends will be different for different countries, because in different countries they have days off, weekends during different days. For example, in Israel, everything starts on Friday and ends up on Saturday, and Sunday is a working day. So it doesn't matter where you are. We improve the UI based on your location. Okay, that was about the timeline and the dependencies. Okay, that was it about the dependency stuff. We also have this kind of timeline, and on a filter, if I go here and I choose lanes, now I have this ability to hide empty lanes. It wasn't here yet, so if you were struggling with it a lot, you'll be very happy to see this like small touch of love. And what are we going to do next? We want to improve creation process, because the experience downgraded with the recent inventions. So we want to rethink it again. We also want to introduce vertical drag and drop, and rows will support more hierarchy. So now you have two-level grouping. For example, I can group features by epic and product, and that level of the necessity will be infinite, like on many other views. Not a promise that it will be done in March, but that is definitely something we want to focus on. Okay, now I hope that I shared the tab and you were able to see everything and there are no questions, so yay. Let's proceed. Okay. Whiteboard improvements, like we still were polishing a bit sticky notes. So it's more about like the polishing and performance, but we also added ability to search text and to add the comments. So let's check it out. Okay, I have my favorite whiteboard to share, the ugliest one with the most data. And here we are. So when you leave a comment, There we are. You will be able to see it like this. So the comment will show the one who added a comment, and you can also add your reply. You can add a comment in any place. Here is yet another comment. Okay, and it will appear in the place where you left it. Since Whiteboard is very dynamic, it makes sense to make comments dynamic as well. They also support notifications part, so you can also mention other people and they will receive notifications. That's a good thing to have. And the next thing that we added, of course, there can be like a lot of context on the whiteboard with some comments, with some entities, and somehow it was not that easy to navigate if you don't remember where exactly the quote was. So now you have search in the whiteboard as well, and you can search by text. So do we have anything about the intercom? Oh no, like this. Yes. Oh my God. Wow, that's a beautiful one. Oh, I'm happy that it is recorded, but yesterday I tested it and it worked much better. Let me refresh it and test it again. It will be so fun and nice to find a bug. Yes, we found a bug, but that's okay. At least it found it. It navigated us to the correct place. So do we know where the text is? Yes, we do. Do we know about the new bug? Yes, we do. I think this is what we call a success. So yeah, we implemented very specific search on the whiteboard and ability to comment. What are we going to focus on next? Probably address the bug we discovered, better groups behavior, more love to sections, and even better comments, because it's not possible to resolve them, to reopen them. So this is what we are going to address next, and Whiteboard has just like a couple of months left in terms of focus. This is why I hope that we'll be able to finish everything. Okay. Now left sidebar. There is a lot of text here because a lot of improvements were released. So let's just switch to this tab. And first of all, you can check out our video on the YouTube, like February, YouTube. It will be the first video in a row because there Michael explains step by step how can you reorder now items in the left menu. As an example, like first of all, we still have two tabs, workspace and personal. Yes, we switched to the position because it was very important. Second, you can now organize spaces in folders, and you can also pin some documents above everything. And the order of the spaces will presume the same for everyone. It was set by admins, so it will be the same for everyone. And the document that you made will be also like a default one and a starting one. And now, for example, if I open any folder, I will see which spaces are inside. So I think it's very helpful if you have a lot of space, if you have a lot of spaces and you want to group everything like in a logical way to avoid cluttering. So for us, it worked already nicely. I think it was the last iteration we made. If you have any feedback, you're very welcome to share because we're still going to improve left menu, but maybe not that significantly dramatic. In terms of personal, there you'll have two sections, favorites, private, and shared with me. So favorites is something that you added favorites to. You can also now add to favorites spaces, which is also nice, I think. Private is visible for you only, but again, it still doesn't have any databases. And you can add items to favorites from private as well. And shared with me is something you have access to from entity level access configuration. I want to probably focus on it a bit more. So let's migrate everything together. It's loading a bit. So everything we're going to do here is something for admins only. And most likely you have this kind of icon, like spaces section will be removed, got it, blah, blah, blah. So what are your options? You can like drag and drop everything above. Can you? You have to be able to. Yay. Come on. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yes. It's never easy. I mean, drag and drop. It has to work. Okay. It does. Getting started. Finance. People as well. Why not? And also have like a template walkthrough, and it's a whiteboard. So in fact, it's kind of a guide that I made for the template about how to get started from. So I wonder whether I can drag and drop it above all the spaces. Yep, seems to be that I can. Now my getting started doesn't make sense anymore. So I will delete the space because in fact it was just a parent for the document, which is here right now. So I want to put it on the top. Someday I'll be able to, I'm very glad that this webinar is recorded, so I will share with my teammates and we'll think how to improve this kind of behavior. So what have we done? We moved spaces above the spaces action, and now because spaces will be like removed in the future, there will be no way to have hidden spaces, unfortunately, or luckily, because you can always have a folder called like MISC or called like hidden or something else, and organizing it in a way that makes sense for the company has to solve the problem that you have to hide some spaces. You can still have folders on the top. So I can have a folder and I can call it like, I don't know, project things. And then I can put just project management into the project things. And then I can have like also not a space, but a folder, and I will call it something like customers. And in customers, I will maybe have CRM, and I will also have finance because finance is also about the customers. So we'll have customers, project things, template walkthrough, and people. Do I like the order? Not sure, but I will be able to experiment later and see what makes more sense. You can again add spaces and folders to favorites. So you can like add a favorite the whole folder. For example, like if you're all about the customers, just add it to favorites, or you can add a specific space to the favorites as well. And you can also put smart folders on the top that will replace smart sections. And of course, put the starting page on the top if we succeed. Yes, we succeeded. I'm so happy. Yes. So there we are, and maybe project things people are here will make a lot of sense as well. Something like this. I still have a few spaces which are more technical ones. So I think I will also create a folder and I will call it like technical. I'll reorder spaces there. Okay, and it will be on the bottom. I like that now it looks clean, to be honest. So this is the sidebar changes that we made. And as you see, there is a lot of text because like it's hard to explain what was done with the text. What is next? Nothing is clear, and that's true. I mean, like we're still in discovery investigation mode. Maybe we'll start working on a homepage. One of the biggest challenges we face right now that favorites have to be somehow populated automatically or private section. So it's a very common request that when I invite teammates, I want them in their like private section be able to see all the work assigned to them. And since Fabric has a flexible domain, the work can appear from any database. This can be one database, or this can be one of the 25 databases this user potentially be assigned to. And this has to look in a way that makes sense, because if we have, I don't know, 10 different databases, 5 of them have state fields, and states are all very different. So word will not make a sense, maybe table, but not everyone likes tables. So like it's a very big problem for us to solve. So right now we're investigating this problem, and we are going to address it next in terms of left sidebar improvements and of course fixing bugs, because it seems that we haven't fixed enough this month. Okay, so next thing, other updates. So we also released required fields, Asana integration, copy is markdown action for entities and docs, and better performance for views and documents. So better performances was just like one of our members of our CTO group focused most of the month. So he just wanted to experience be more smooth, like improve the loading time. Not sure whether you mentioned it, because if you were lucky, then everything worked okay for you already. But if you had challenges, now it has to be a bit more painful. Let's go here. So regarding the required fields, you can make any field a required one. So almost any. You cannot make multiple many-to-many relations and multi-select fields required, because under the hood, multi-select field is a many-to-many relation. So that's secret, don't tell anyone. And formulas and lookups can be required as well, because formula relies on other fields, and you can make the fields formula relies on be required. I don't know, when like we can open any database we had before. So if I go to the fields part and we have a workflow, maybe we can even add a new field, I don't know, date, and then they open again advanced section. Advanced is a very nice one. I like this invention, because before it was like a whole list of all the options. Now we just hide it nicely. Always require a value. So required fields of existing entities can be empty. So if you already have some entities and then you make a new field and it becomes a required one, you have to set some default value. And please note that once you make a field required, it will be like required everywhere via form, via quick creation, just everywhere. Next thing is Asana integration. So this is a list of things that we sync. I don't personally think that this is a good thing to have Asana integration, but you can use this connector to have Asana migration. So if you want to migrate the data from another tool, maybe even for historical purposes, or to run automations on top of it, or to build reports on the data that you had in another tool back then, now you don't have to build your own connector. You can just use Asana integration, because it's quite a popular tool. So we thought, like, why not? We already have a couple of customers using it, and we fixed most of the bugs customers discovered, because there is no better QA than a customer and Paulina during the webinar. And last but not least is copy as a markdown action for entities and documents. So like, what was the purpose behind that? There were not that many requests on that, but we found personally it helpful. This is why we delivered it. I want to experiment with some content I have in Fiber in third-party LLM. And imagine like you have a lot of data, and copy paste it like manually is quite time consuming. So now you can apply this section. It will save all the like text fields like name, rich text fields, metadata, values, comments, and even LinkedIn highlights. So it's perfect for conversations analyzing, because Fiber is relying on OpenAI, and if you want to have like to use and test another LLM, you may find it helpful. So if I go to the product roadmap, for example, and I like, this is our real one. So I hope not to mess up with this a lot. Of course, we have undelete and restore, but it's better not to ruin this. As you see, there is now a new button, which is called copy as markdown, and 6 features copied to the clipboard. And you can do this both as a batch, or you can do this like one by one. Here, in these actions, you may also find copy as markdown action. So that's up to you whether to copy content from a single entity or from multiple entities. By the way, still love this step. Like, I remember the time when it was not there, and I'm so happy to have it. Okay, so future plans. What are we going to focus on? We want to polish required fields. There are also like some problems when you create something when names generated with a formula. So maybe we'll finally address this problem. Unique field value validation is also in our plan somehow. And two of our developers, Leg and Max, they are still experimenting with a smart AI agent. So you know that you can already create AI text assistants that rely on your data. For example, we have one of them in our user guide, public one. You go there, there's an AI assistant trained in our user guides. You can ask it something, and it will provide you with quite nice result. However, if you train the AI not on a specific one to databases and specific use case, but on more generic um, data, and you will ask more generic questions like, how many customers do I have right now? Like, what is my MRR from customers from Europe and or from Germany? Or who is the most important customer based on the MRR, or like something like this kind of generic questions. It was possible to create such an agent, but the quality was relatively poor. And for the last couple of months, we were addressing this to find whether we can do something better, because like it can give you really insightful answers. And we are relatively close, I think, to success or to a failure. So improved it, but not significantly. So this is still something that we are focusing our effort on. I think that this is it for now, for what we have released this month, and I will happy to address the questions. Boom, boom, boom. We do have questions. Hooray! Will the drag and drop change anything in the connection workflows? No, nothing. The permissions will also stay the same. All the automations, so it's just a UI change. So no worries on that. Um, we migrated everything on the backend side, so nothing was lost, and changing that is absolutely safe. Okay, so this is it. In fact, we do have another question. Amazing. Can I see how to import Asana tickets? Of course. Let me switch to the tab. Okay, so that's a good question, by the way. Boom, boom, boom. We can add an integration to the space part, and here you have an Asana in a list. So it's sorted by alphabet. This is why Asana is on top. And then you have just to connect your account, and the import will be released. I wonder whether we have a template for Asana, but we'll double check that. Not sure. No, template is not here. This is why choosing the space where you want to add this integration, clicking the button Add Integration and choosing Asana will be the only and the best, that's the best option to have. Okay. And we have another question. Amazing. Thank you so much. Can you provide submitter rights using automatic permissions? It's a generic question because I'm not sure that I fully understand what automatic permission is. Maybe you mean like access templates. So can submitter be the part of the access template? Not yet, because our logic was that access templates, it's access to the data which exists already. And this is why submitter role is a bit orthogonal, and it has to be added separately on a database level. However, we found out that this is not a way to go, just because no one understands this amazing concept. And from what I know, right now, our teammates are working on ability to have like creation capability be a part of any access template as well. So can you provide? No. Will it be possible in the nearest future? Most likely, yes, if everything goes according to the plan. As you see, I'm very cautious in making promises. Do we have access? Okay. Do we have access to unlimited swim lanes for the timeline? No, because I'm very afraid of the word unlimited. Like Fiber cannot handle unlimited data. I mean, like our volume per database that like you can even import millions of records, but they will not be able to visualize them. So I think like the reasonable amount is 300, 500,000 of records overall in the database. Then probably when you visualize it, you still don't need all of them be visible on the timeline, I hope. So if at some point a timeline cannot, like, there are also like a lot of variables, how complicated the database is, etc. So if timeline understands that it cannot work nicely with your volume visualized on it, it will give you like a warning, something like, please apply filters, only part of your data is visible here because like we failed to show everything, and you can use the filters to narrow down. Will there be strict limitations for the grouping? We don't plan so far because like performance is calculated like overall, and you can have, I don't know, hundreds of swim lanes, then the grouping, something else, but again, reasonable amounts. So hundreds, yes. Thousands of thousands, unlikely. Some number I can share with you, I do not have, to be honest. Yes, I'm done answering with this question. Yay. Awesome. Yes, so I can wait for a couple few minutes about with any questions that you may potentially come up with. Again, reminder, if you missed something, the recording will be on the YouTube. And yeah, I will be happy to see you, by the way, in the intercom as well, if you have any questions left, but don't want everyone to see this question because it's very private and very personal one. I believe this may occur as well. Okay, I see we don't have any questions left. And the cat, I'm not sure whether my noise cancellation is working nicely, but the cat is also like looking forward for the attention. He's like, meow, there are no questions left, so why do you stay there? It's time to pet the cat. So who am I to decline if there are indeed no questions? And I don't want to waste more of your time. So thank you so much for coming. I will even stop sharing the screen so you can see my friendly face. Thank you so much and have a great second part of the week. See ya. Bye-bye.